What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. I'm just here to weigh in just a little bit on this whole Monique situation. I I've been watching Club Shay Shay before Cat showed up, and when Cat showed up, and who knew, you know, he was gonna turn things so topsy-turvy. I went to his show. Um, I went to his Orlando show. Child, let me tell you about that before we get into this. Went to the show. I knew he was going to have headliners, had no idea who they were going to be. Um, Walked in the place. First thing I see is Tommy Davidson. Hey, Tommy Davidson. He just out there with the people taking pictures. It was very dope. Lil Mo was singing. She sounded amazing. So Lil Mo is the opening. Well, she was here. I don't know. Like I'm guessing his show is different for different cities, but in our city here, shout out to UCF. That campus is amazing. Hadn't been to the UCF campus in years, and let me tell you, it's dope as hell. Anyway, Lil Mo was singing, and just a very much 90s throwback. Who a young lady opened, I forget her name. Sorry about it, but she did a great job. He had a couple of unknowns, or at least unknown to me, female comedians actually. Then Tori Hart, ain't that her name? Tori Hart. Yeah, she came out. I mean, I know she used to write for Kevin. Her set was pretty good. Obviously has to discuss being Kevin's ex-wife. And after seeing her set, I was like, damn, I can't imagine like how really horrible it must be to be his ex-wife and have to see his ass everywhere. Anyway, Mark Curry, I did not know Professor Cooper was gonna be there. That was very dope. Red the comedian was hosting. So yeah, the Cat Williams experience was everything I wanted it to be. He went on Club Shay Shay and then he went on tour. Very smart cat. Sold out tour. Then I see Monique. And I didn't want to watch it because I'm tired of Monique. And every time I see her, it's some bullshit involved. She went through that whole situation that went down with her and DL. And I personally don't really enjoy Monique as a stand-up comedian. I do like her in movies. I think she's funny in movies, but stand-up for me, she's just not my cup of tea. That's not taking anything away from her. I'm just saying she ain't really what I like. DL, on the other hand, I do like DL. I find him funny, but I do remember back in the day, DL used to be very mean, like into his audience. I'm talking about his live shows. Like he would like really be talking shit about people. You know what I mean? To the point where you'd be like, dang, I want to go nowhere up close to where he at. Um, with that being said, I don't, care what the drama is between DL and Monique. It seems they both seem very juvenile, if you ask me, going back and forth online. I did think it was out of line completely when she brought his daughter into the conversation because it just was like, girl, where are you going with this argument? It seems like Monique want to say whatever the hell Monique wants to say, and then when she hears something that she don't like, here come her and her daddy on Instagram trying to, bring up shit that wasn't part of the conversation. When I watched her, and I wasn't gonna watch her on Club Shay Shay, I watched her show up everywhere, all over the timeline, and I was like, well, let me go see what the hell she said about Oprah. So when I went over to the Club Shay Shay to watch her interview, I actually didn't hate it. And I was like, dang, Monique been irritating the shit out of me for the last, oh, I don't know, decade. But for some reason over here, Club Shay Shay, I wasn't hating it. And I was like, oh, I know what it is. Her daddy's not there. I like her way better when her daddy ain't around because that shit is creepy. So I don't know who said what about her, but next thing I know, here her daddy and her come online. And I'm like, I want to hear that. So I haven't kept up with Monique and her daddy sitting in the same chair together, her saying sweet babies and him saying my brothers and my sisters and all of that and all of that. If she wanna, attach herself to the hip to her daddy, that's none of my business and I kind of don't care. But out the blue, here comes this son, because DL, I do believe, saw him on the internet talking about, is she talking about my kids? asked her why her kids don't talk to her. And I was like, her kids don't talk to her. And then, I don't know, maybe her and her daddy addressed it on live or something. But this kid, grown man, has come from out of nowhere, seemingly saying how she wasn't around and how traumatic the experience has been for him. I'm a mother, and I know that I can't imagine anything that I wouldn't do within my power for my children. If you know what I'm saying, not, them getting in trouble and things of that nature. You want to at least be there for your kids. Being a single mom, um, is always a sacrifice. I think you always feel guilty about the choices you make when you have a child young. I wasn't 15. I think she was 15. I don't know if she was 15, but the number 15 keep coming up. She thought she was 15 or she acted like she was 15. I don't know. I was 20 years old, and I left my son with my mom to go to finish school. I had a year of school left, so I left him with my mom to go finish that last year of school. And right before I moved back to Florida, he went and stayed with her for a few months without me. He was affected by that. I can't imagine how her son was affected, her not being there at all. Um, and I mean, you don't even have to go away. I don't feel like. What is it, Beverly Hills? We heard Garcelle's mother's son sit up there and say how she wasn't around. You know what I'm saying, when she went to work. So how a child perceives you not being there, you know, perception is reality. That's their reality. If she said she was gone for 3 weeks, for him it felt like forever. I'm sure my son felt like that 1 year was forever. Even, me coming home to visit on breaks and stuff is not the same thing as you being there every day. So I don't know. She said out of her own mouth she wasn't there for this young man. I just wish that she would keep um her conversation about him off the internet. And yeah, he came to the internet, but she should still stay off of there. I feel like he wouldn't have even come there if if she hadn't brought him up. It's unfortunate that whatever she said she was going through, she was a young woman chasing fame. It seems like she's still in that same place. And now she's got her daddy there. And I can't imagine, as a person, if I'm trying to talk to my mother, but her husband daddy won't, let us just have a conversation and intervening. I feel like that's just more trauma. So her son came out the other day and made a video, and then there was another, and then he said that this was the last one. I'm going to just show the last one because I feel like the things that, I can't speak for anybody but myself, but the things that he was saying about Monique is the reason why I just can't with Monique. I feel like every time I see her, she whining about what somebody did to her, what somebody owes her, or what somebody didn't do for her. And now you have a son, and I guess you feel like just because you said, I mean, Oprah said sorry. Did she say sorry? Sorry, girl. That wasn't good enough. And now you're saying the same thing. I hope moving forward, this is your last communication with this young man over the internet. It just feels like a conversation that none of us should be a part of. Um, I'm gonna play what he said, just because I feel like it's important for us to listen to in terms of how people process your actions. I'm a mom. Uh, I don't care what my kids do. If they came on the internet and blasted me, it's just, I just couldn't go back there and try to. I don't know anything more important than mending whatever is broken between the two of you, and it ain't gonna happen online. So yeah, we're gonna check out what he had to say.
Here we go again, right? Hi, I'm Shalon. I'm gonna jump right into it. I guess the intelligent thing to do when assuming that your son is having a mental episode is to post personal screenshots of text messages that are 3 years old in an attempt to validate a false narrative as if they are some type of receipt. You also invaded the privacy of my daughter's grandparents by posting your receipts. Neither of you should never speak on mental health again if you thought that that idea was a good one. As a person who lives with mental health issues, let me be the first to educate you that there are individuals who have taken their lives, harmed, and also taken the lives of others for doing the very thing that you so proudly did and your fan base pats you on the back for, which is very telling to how strangers will buy into your toxicity. Picking up the phone to check on your son that you believe is having a mental episode to make sure that he is okay, while also making sure that your granddaughter is safe, is too much to ask, I guess. For those wondering, I have gone to therapy on several different occasions, and that is not something that I will ever be ashamed of. I have even gone to therapy with my mother on several occasions. But for those who know how efficient therapy only works when both people are being open. My mother was still in her 15-year-old mentality phase during that time, so I guess I understand why she did not know how to be open with me during our sessions. When a person becomes accustomed to being a victim and others get used to seeing them as one, they live their lives in a state of internalization, meaning you consistently receive another's approach as an attack, constantly putting you under the illusion that you need to always be on the defense, even in situations where there is no actual attack, just an acknowledgement of things already said by you. One should not feel attacked by an acknowledgement of the words that they stand on. You eventually become a passive aggressor. To address the men that had something to say in regards to men don't do what I'm doing, let me be very clear. How I man is none of your business. What and how I feed my family has no place on your plate. For every person that stated I should not have come to the internet, I would just like to ask, what do Club Shay Shay, the articles about my mother and I's relationship, the interviews about our relationship, and Instagram all have in common? Well, if you are competent, the internet. Furthermore, I did not expose my mother, nor did I badmouth my mother. I simply provided context to what was already being said about me, while also explaining why I don't speak to them directly. The reason those that feel negatively about what I said are just having a hard time differentiating between Nikki Parker and Monique. Please stop with the cornball idea that a celebrity can talk about a family member on the internet for years, but God forbid said family member says any one thing, and you all are outside with tiki torches and pitchforks defending not the actual person, but the idea of a person. These people are in an industry that is efficient at making money off of what is pretend. So in essence, you are defending a character. I love my mother, and it took the birth of my daughter to help me begin to understand the value of a mother. I am very proud of my mother, though, and I'm proud of the things that she has accomplished and will go on to accomplish in the future. My mother's bad, man. I watched that woman go from Baltimore to the moon. That drive is also in my daughter's blood. Not only is she still my mother, she's also a part of history, and I would be doing my daughter a disservice by not telling her about who my mother is and was. But since those messages that you posted were used as some type of a receipt to validate your false narrative, I figured I would take some time to gather up my receipts to validate my decision to move forward with my life without my mother in it. I do want to thank you all for listening for the now final time that I will ever address this topic, and I will leave you with my receipts.
Y'all, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back. We can talk about something else. Bye, y'all.